The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks episode for Friday, March 17th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, presented by WynnBET. WynnBET's now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Bet $100, get $100 at WynnBET.com. Or download the WynnBET app and start winning today. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the D-Gen Dance. Yes, come cut a rug with us. Our March Madness Bankroll contest is back. Free to enter, and $1,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Plus, we've got first half under bingo. Yes, enter both contests on the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. So grab that thing today and let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
The College Basketball Experience Preview and Picks Edition for Friday. Good old March 17th, and we're going to go through our whole bracket. This is our final episode before the madness really kicks off. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, well, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh, I've adjusted. I'm not playing the song that's going to get us in trouble. The madness is going on. We got Arizona State up 21 right now. I am on the Sun Devils. I finally figured out Steve Alford. Feeling good about life. The real madness tips tomorrow morning. I can't wait. We already went through that episode. If you want to go back and listen to the Thursday slate of games, that is on the previous episode of the College Basketball Experience. This episode, we're going to break down the Friday slate of games and also our whole bracket. So, you get that treat here on the College Basketball Experience. Happy March Madness. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins at West Virginia and Frank Martin at South Carolina, host of the NFL Gambling Podcast, host of the Ryan and Rush Show. Give it up for Ryan McIntyre. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. 13 hours till the fun begins. I mean, all this preseason, playing games over. Hey, man, the real madness starts tomorrow night.
Especially for you. What's the first game that tips? It is West Virginia and Maryland.
Let's go.
That is come on, if you know, that's kind of a rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
We are also joined by third man in the booth, the host of the College Baseball Experience, which you should be subscribed to because that season's in full swing. He's also writing articles over sportsgamblingpodcast.com or the SGPN app. Get that. Free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. Give it up for Noah Bieniek. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Colby? I'm doing great. It was so good yesterday, we decided to run it back today, eh?
Running it back today, and obviously, we're just that much closer. There's a tingle. I feel like we were talking about D-Gen dancing. I'm ready to hit the dance floor tonight because, damn, I'm excited for tomorrow's action. We're going to go through all of that, but right now I want your quick thought on Arizona State destroying the Nevada Wolfpack. I told you I figured out – remember I had a little segment where I was, getting excited. I figured out Steve Alford, and I'm telling you, I think it's still 4 minutes left. You never know with Arizona State.
Yeah.
But I think I'm home. The Sun Devils are advancing. What do you make of this game?
So you were recording the main show, and me and Noah were behind the scenes, and I go, I literally have no idea what's going to happen in this freaking game. And Nevada hit the first 3 of the game, I go, oh, Nevada's going to win. So, hey, fast forward, they're down 20. That's how little feel I have for Steve Alford and Bobby Hurley teams.
Yeah, both these teams, wild, just absolute wild. I actually think, and we've talked about this on the college, maybe you're new to the college basketball experience, but all season, every night of the season, we bring you an episode. And we had a hard time always getting a gauge on Arizona State. We always said they're a dangerous team. If they get hot, they're capable of beating anybody in the land. But they're also capable of losing to Chicago State or something. So
chat's going, Rob Donaldson. For weeks, I thought Colby was saying the D-Gen dance as in your last name. He saw the graphic saying D-Gen dance, and he thought he was just calling your family a bunch of D-Gens.
Oh, well, that too. I mean, I have seen several, my dad and several other uncles, definitely spend a lot of money at the racetrack. I've seen it where my dad, so growing up in the D.C. area, we went to Laurel Racetrack.
All right.
And I seen him have success at Laurel. And out of the blue, him take us. So Laurel was during the day. And if he had success, then he goes, you know what? Let's go to Charlestown, West Virginia, and catch the ponies at night.
Harper's Ferry, baby.
Yeah. And then come home to my mom. And my mom's like, I thought you were just going for the day. He's like, well, I had a good day, honey.
I mean, you guys know me as a young punk, but, back when I was younger, I had aunts and uncles that would take me to the local track, but that, I was, maybe 15 when they got rid of that, but I had been to the track a bunch,
Oh, yeah. It's classic. That's what I'm saying.
We're on
brand. We're on brand.
Yep. Degeneratism, or whatever you want to call it, it runs in the family.
Yeah, and everyone should check out the notorious OTB podcast because our guy Chase Sessoms does great work over there if you're into the ponies. Guys, let's get into it, though, because the real ponies are tomorrow is the NCAA tournament. That's what everyone's going to be betting. We know we got the Kentucky Derby coming, though, so go listen to that pod after this dance because Friday slate. Let's just get into it, and then we'll go through our bracket because I got a feeling my bracket's going to kind of kick your guys' asses. All right, I'll lay it out there right now. I'll lay it out there. How much you guys want to throw down?
Oh, yeah. We'll do a shot.
Let's go.
Whoever loses got to take a shot.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
No doubt.
I'm in for whatever.
All right,
you guys know me. I'm just saying
I'm
yes
gonna
this
pull
whole
a Charlie
trip.
Sheen. I used to bartend at the Beverly Hilton, and there's some shots that cost a lot of money. I'll put it like that. There's stuff I had no idea that was out there.
This whole trip, I've just been saying yes, and it's pissing Colby off because he's like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Just give me whatever you get."
It drives me crazy because I'm like, guys, I'm gonna go get you guys a drink. What do you want? And Max got his order, and Noah just goes, whatever.
Give me whatever you get. And he goes, I'm gonna get what would you say?
And I'm like, dude.
Cosmo.
Well, I said, dude, you got to tell me a real drink because if not, I'm gonna get you a Cosmo or a lemon drop and force you to drink that shit. All right. So you got to have a signature drink.
Put anything in front of me, and I'll drink it. I'll say that.
Dude, I bartended for a long time. Beware what you wish for.
I'm going to try to get it down. I'm going to do my best to get it down.
Hey, in honor of the first game tomorrow, Bob Huggins, the next time I turn down a free drink will be the first.
That's why we love Bob Huggins,
baby.
We got to get him on the show next. All right, Friday morning, the first game tip at 9:15 a.m. USC, Southern Cal, taking on Michigan State. Sparty, this game is in Columbus, Ohio, at the Nationwide Arena. Guys, I'm going to start things off with a bang. I don't care if Drew Peterson's playing this game. I mean, obviously, if he doesn't play, I'd look even better. But Michigan State's beating them with or without him. Tom Izzo, this is destiny. All right, we had that tragic event happen. But I also believe, even before that happened, that Michigan State had a caliber team that could make a deep run. The guard plays better than it's been in a while. They're a veteran bunch. And I think people are starting to say, Izzo's lost it a little bit. Not so fast. Michigan State, lock it up against Southern California. I am laying, 1.5 I see right now? I thought it was 2. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Mac?
I feel like this is the exact same handicap of West Virginia, Maryland. This is just a pure play on Tom Izzo. He's got the guards, veterans against USC. USC's going to Columbus. It's an early tip. I'm locking up Michigan State and Sparty as well. And let's go, Sparty.
Play the damn triple lock.
Oh, there we go. Sparty, baby. It's been a while since I've been with Sparty. And I feel great about this one. And I am going to place a large wager on this.
I do too.
I think I might have already, but I got to double check. And also, I want to give a special shout out to my guy Justin. I know he's a I met him in Milwaukee. He's a big Spartan fan, and he's been hitting me up, talking Michigan State. We're gonna cash, brother, on Sparty.
You plugged my articles. I'm a Michigan guy, and this was one of my two best bets for the first round of the March Madness. Michigan State. Sparty Darty minus 1.5.
I don't know that that's safe to drop that on the airwaves of life. All right.
You know what? It sometimes you have to do it. So Michigan State.
I think those are what. See, that's me. It's like that's like I feel like if it's Nebraska football, then I just silently bet it and I go, oh, NC State football. Oh, but the world doesn't find out. I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm joking.
It's
I
a
locked
podcast.
up NC State
all
the
the
other
picks
day.
go on there.
What do you think about a brunch parlay here? Back-to-back openers, West Virginia money line, Sparty money line, Hugs and Izzo. I like that.
Oh, I like that a
Let's
lot.
go.
Yeah.
Plus
I can get in on
225.
that. I can get in on that.
Bring
you
your
just put
mimosas.
that together on the fly. I love it.
Bring your Bloody
Lock
Marys.
that one up. We got a little parlay. We are already dancing. We're like 10 minutes into this episode.
Let me say this, dude. Southern Cal is flying cross country for this. This game's being played in Columbus in the Eastern Time Zone.
Yeah.
This is 9:15 a.m. local time for Southern Cal. And looking at the positional matchups up and down the board, I love Michigan State matching up against them. Boogie Ellis, their leading scorer. A.J. Hogarth's a great defensive point guard. And then Tyson Walker's due for a breakout in this NCAA tournament. He could be a borderline star. And then you mentioned it, Drew Peterson, their second leading scorer. He's day-to-day with an injury. Joey Hauser, even if he does play, Joey Hauser's on him like flies on shit. So just love this Michigan State team. And Izzo's due because the last two tournaments he's been bounced in the first weekend.
That one he blew like a 11-point lead against UCLA. Everyone's giving a shit about that. UCLA ends up going to the Final Four. Probably should have played for the national championship if Jalen Suggs doesn't hit a crazy shot.
Yeah, 2019 they go to the Final Four. They beat that stacked Duke team. You mentioned they lose to UCLA last year. They lose to Duke again. So it's like they are due to go on another at least second weekend.
That's
run.
a great parlay. I like that parlay.
It's a Hall of Fame brunch parlay. Let's go.
Hall of Fame brunch parlay.
Let's go.
We're in Vegas. Make sure you check out the Hall of Fame brunch buffet. All right, look, before we get to the next game, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience preview and pick show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by WynnBET. Yes, WynnBET's now active in Massachusetts and tons of other states. Be on the lookout for WynnBET Win Hour each Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. During WynnBET's Win Hour, marquee games of the week will have better odds on WynnBET, giving you a larger payout opportunity. And you better believe March Madness is here. So many ways to get down on the big dance. Sign up today. Receive a special offer. Bet $100. Get $100. Limited to state availability. And, of course, for our D-Gens only, if you hit the biggest long shot parlay of the week, you get $1,000 free credit. There's so much to choose from, and all you have to do is head over to WynnBET.com or download the WynnBET app. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions. WynnBET.com. SB 21 present state where WynnBET is available. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. We're also brought to you by March Madness Contest from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Look, time's running out, guys. Hop on over. The D-Gen Dance. Our March Madness Bankroll Contest is back. Free to enter, and $1,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Plus, we've got our first half under bingo where you could win a SGPN gift card. Enter both contests on the SGPN app, which is free to download in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. But remember, when you do that, to let it ride. All right. We move over to 940. Kennesaw State, the Owls. Who have had a magical season. This is a program coming up. Their football program's jumping to the FBS next year. We got their basketball program starting to show up. Everyone thought it was going to be the Flamin' Libs out of the A-Sun. Nope, Kennesaw State gets it done. And now they take on a Xavier team. We were on Hoops Peterson the other night where, Hoops is thinking Kennesaw is right for the upset, mainly because Zach Fremantle, one of the star players for the Musketeers, is out for the game. But also Xavier has not been playing great, defense down the stretch here. This line is at 12.5 I'm seeing right now. I think Kennesaw can cover that. Now, my problem is, for the people that want to take the Owls on the money line, see, Sule Boom has been that guy in close games. And this guy's been in college, I feel like he's been in college since, Pete Gillian was coaching at Xavier. Sule Boom, though, I remember him at San Francisco. I remember him at UTEP, and now he's at Xavier. I think that's the difference maker if it's a close game. That's why I do not think the Owls are going to move along, but I do like them to cover the points here. How do you feel about this one?
Hoops and I were both on this. I love the Owls here. They got the veteran guards with Burden, Youngblood, and Stroud. They went to Indiana. They led for a majority of the game. They went to VCU. And we're right there. Lost it right at the end. I'm going to lock up the Owls. I think this is a 1 to 2 possession game, comes down the wire. Let's go.
Money line Mac. Flying high with the Owls, saying, who's going to have extra money in his bank account? It's got to be Moneyline Mac. If you listen to him, Noah, do you refute his statement?
No, I'm right there with him, and I'm borderline picking this team to move on in my bracket, so definitely means Moneyline. And this is, I think...
Wait, you're picking this team to move along as in Xavier or as in Kennesaw?
Kennesaw State. Because
you got them winning on the money line.
I might.
What do you mean you might? We're picking right now.
Really damn close. Like it literally.
He's sneak peek at the bracket preview. That's what he's
doing.
What's
going on? Hey guys, I might turn in a bracket. Who do you got winning this game?
The bracket in front of me has Kennesaw State in the Sweet 16.
Oh,
wow!
I have them beating Iowa State in the round of 32. I think
that is some strong play there. Look, I like the Owls.
I called this early on in the season that another 14 seed would get in the Sweet 16. I'm sticking by that word because on the other side of the bracket, I said UCSB in an early broadcast. I benedicted that move, and I told you that yesterday.
Okay. But, man, taking the Owls to the Sweet 16.
It's the 14 that I like the most. It's actually the 14 through 16th seed that I like the most.
Unbelievable. Kennesaw State to the Sweet 16, says Noah Bieniek. All right, let's hop on over to the game. Benedict. UC Santa Barbara. This is an experienced team. I got to see this team live, and I feel like they're a good team in the Big West. I was really hoping to bet them in March, but then they draw the Baylor Bears. Scott Drew, he's got this program rolling along, fresh off a national championship, run a couple years ago, and probably would have went to the national championship the year that COVID hit. They were a top 2 seed. They're laying 10.5. Now, this line came down a little bit. And I think some of that has to do with the fact that people, I think, are realizing that UC Santa Barbara with Josh Pierre-Louis from New Jersey, this kid can play. Him and A.J. Mitchell at the guard spot. I love the guards of the Gauchos. I think they will keep them in this game. I think Baylor's going to win it.
Yeah.
But I think this is I honestly would not be surprised. This is 1 or 2 possession game, a minute left, and Baylor finds a way to get out of it.
I agree. And Alfred makes a good point in the chat. It's an early game for the Gauchos, being the early game. I wanted to take the Gauchos before I saw the bracket, but then you know me, I'm not fading the Big 12, man, especially with these guards, Flagler and Cryer.
I was going to take Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Like the fact they got Baylor, if you line them up with what? So there are 3. Yeah, actually, I even think they would give K-State more. Yeah. They could beat K-State probably better than Baylor, and same with Xavier. And yeah. I mean, I kind of like them against a lot of the 3 seeds. Maybe not the Zags.
And I also think like Baylor's gotten a lot of knock defensively, but they didn't have JTT for 2/3 of the year. They've been better defensively since a rim protector came back. Last year, they went out early in the tournament because JTT towards ACL. It's a great story. They got the veteran guards. I like the Bears, but I'm going to lay it. I am going to lay it. I think they pull away late.
Okay, Noah, we know you Benedict this. You were on the Gauchos to win on the money line. Do you at least have them covering?
Yes, I have them covering. The reason why I got off of them on the money line is that I am a firm believer in the time zone thing, and the Gauchos playing early on in the slate kind of backed me off of it. I said that prior to the times being out in my defense, but A.J. Mitchell in this guard unit has what it takes to go strength on strength against Baylor and give them a run for their money. I have them losing a close game.
There you go. You heard it from Noah Bieniek. All right, folks, before we get to the next game, I want to tell you the college basketball experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is heating up for March Madness, and College Pick'em is a great way to get in on the action, especially if your bracket is busted after day 1, which that happened to me last year because I had Kentucky playing for I didn't have them winning the national championship. I had them playing for the national championship, and this team called the Peacocks came in and just completely wrecked that. So then what I did, I went over to Underdog Fantasy and got in on action because, look, come on, if everyone's bracket's going to be busted probably by tomorrow night, all right? A lot of them, probably like 30%. And then it's going to turn into 60% after Friday, except for me. These clowns, definitely. But yes, get on there. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. They have some great college basketball player props, too. Noah, I know you've been playing this a lot. Isn't that an awesome attribute that they have? So certain states you can't play player props. There's always a second option. All right, there you can always do the play action fake here. Hop on over to Underdog Fantasy. All right, next up,
I have 2 more plays for the Underdog
Do you?
slate tomorrow.
Oh,
if you want me to.
oh yes. I didn't want to hot potato you because we didn't talk about it pre-episode.
I prepped it while you were live on Sports Gambling Podcast.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, buddy. What are you doing on this?
So play number 1, we talked about it yesterday, and I'm sticking to it. Kyle Filipowski, I have him over 16.5 points. He's hit this in 4 straight games with 7 3-pointers made during those 4 games. Connor Vanover is a big, plotty 7'5" guy.
Arkansas transfer.
Yeah, that Oral Roberts has as their center. He's going to be on them for most of the game. I think he struggles to kind of, shadow and follow Filipowski. And then the other guy that we love as well is Tyson Degenhart, over 5 rebounds against Northwestern, who's a pretty lackluster rebounding team.
I love that play.
Our guy should be able to get this number easily as he's cashed in 6 of his last 9.
There we go. Folks, what are you doing? Get on over to UnderdogFantasy.com because listen to Noah Bieniek. That sounds like straight cash in your pocket.
3 times your money.
3 times your money. All right. I think we're all on this one. If I had to guess. We go to 11 a.m. on the West, 2 p.m. on the East. The MVP Arena in Albany, New York will be the host site for the VCU Rams and St. Mary's, the Gales. St. Mary's is laying 4. You know what we're doing here. Money line play, wrong team favored. Let's go with VCU here. Are we all three on, we all have VCU winning on the money line?
Yes. This is the worst possible matchup for St. Mary's. We saw it in the 2 Gonzaga games when they really struggled against pressure. Who presses more than VCU in this country? Nobody. Ace Baldwin, he's ready to be a star on the national stage. Let's go. Ram it.
Yeah, I'm all over it.
I think both of these teams are pretty scrappy. I like the first half under here, just like we do on every game.
Yeah, just like we do on every game. People are saying, hey, it's 1-3. I had to reply with the Braveheart gif saying, hold. All right, the first 4 is always a little shaky.
It's a preseason.
Exactly.
The pit one.
Let it get into the action tomorrow, and we shall see. Yes, we are locking up VCU. This is a triple lock, so you know what that means, folks. That means we get to do this. Take the VCU Rams. Ace Baldwin's been playing basketball for a while. They're experienced, too. Mike Rhodes, he's coached in the NCAA Tournament before. Not that Randy Bennett has it, but that's a far trip from Moraga, California, all the way to Albany, New York. VCU was just in New York in the A-10 tournament, which they won. Let's go. Moving down the line, 11:45 a.m. Vermont. Take it on Marquette. This line has came down a little bit too. Marquette only laying 10.5 now. Now, the Catamounts have been a darling of ours, I feel like, ever since conference play started. Catamounts are catching 10.5 points. This game is in Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Shaka Smart has been unbelievable. Maybe the best. I think maybe the best story of the college basketball season. They were projected 3rd to last, 2nd to last. They not only win the regular season title in the Big East, they also win the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden. Unbelievable run. They're very inexperienced. Does that catch up with them, knowing the Catamounts are super experienced? Catamounts, I think like 7 or 6 of 7 or 7 of 8 of their leading minutes guys are seniors or upperclassmen. Yeah. Unbelievable. I like, and we've talked about this, people said, which 2-seed, Colby, do you think would be the most vulnerable? I think it would be Marquette, especially when you pair them up with an experienced Vermont team. I'm taking the points with Vermont. I could be talked into a lock here, Mac, but what are you doing here?
I love Vermont here. I mean, you mentioned it, the experience versus the non-experienced team. And Marquette's coming off the Big East Championship. Everybody's crowning them. We like to fade these teams coming off these conference tournament wins where you got to expend so much energy, 3 wins in 3 nights. I like Vermont a lot here. I think this game, another one that comes right down to the wire, March Madness game, I think Vermont has a chance to win, so I'm locking it.
Let's go.
Catamounts.
Noah, you on board?
I'm not going to lock it, but I'm on board with Vermont, and it's actually a whole picks page pick with Vermont covering the spread here.
Wow, the whole page. Whoa.
Oh,
Almost got us in
Dredd
trouble.
did call us men at work
Almost got us in trouble there.
in the chat.
I need to delete that off the board, folks. Moneyline Mac and myself both on the Catamounts. Noah backing off.
Yeah.
Backing off a little bit.
He's going to regret
Came
it
in
on
hot in
Friday.
his Kennesaw State play, but now backing away a little bit on the Catamount front.
I got one crazy money line.
Oh.
That's Kennesaw State.
Okay. Fair. Well, Noah, we know you're a closet Pittsburgh Panther fan.
Oh, he's wearing the hat. He's not
I'm
even
wearing
hiding it
a
anymore.
Pitt hat, but it's not Pitt colors.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
whatever.
They
It's
wore black
Pittsburgh.
and gold last night.
They did.
Yeah.
But
See?
that's not a normal uniform.
You
that
think
they
I
wear.
miss anything?
A lot of people
Yeah.
actually didn't like that uniform.
You
but-
think I slept last night? Not a
Yeah.
chance.
Well, and Moneyline Mac, I
'cause
did
your ACC
enjoy.
parlay busted on the first leg of
I
Friday.
did enjoy, so I got done with the episode. I didn't have a chance to pay attention to a lot of the chat because
Yeah.
it's different here. I have the screen here. It's just a different setup than in
I'm
the
working
studio.
on it a little bit, trying to just club in anything I can,
And I get back though to the hotel room. I putting out the episode, and I see like my Twitter feed is blowing up, and I'm tagged in all this. You're an idiot. You what are you doing taking Mississippi State? Pitt and the ACC showed up, and look, I came at the ACC some, but I defended Duke. I defended UVA. All I really did was shit on NC State. Maybe a little bit of Pitt, just because, my friend here hates Pitt. But I feel like I shouldn't be responsible for being tagged in all this. You know what I mean? This is like
guilty by association.
Yeah.
They won a game by 1 where the guy misses a freaking horse shot, and they got out rebounded by 20. It's the flukiest win of the college basketball season.
that's what, I'm just saying. If a guy takes an airplane,
Yeah.
if a guy hops on a United flight, goes to Boston and murders somebody, are they going to charge? Why is the pilot coming along for this? Right? What's going on
Hey,
here?
what's your take on Duke and Carolina fans cheering so hard for Pitt? Is this how far the ACC has fallen?
Is this them transitioning to SEC fans?
Yes.
Like
Oh,
the SEC's infected them since they're right there.
This rich history,
Even
tradition,
Billis,
the
even
ACC.
Billis was saying Hubert Davis is one of my good friends.
Yes.
And I feel like I wanted to see Carolina in there. I'm like, what?
What are you talking
What?
about?
I don't know.
They celebrate first 4 wins like Final 4 wins in the ACC now.
So Pitt.
Alfred 44 says the ACC is going to surprise you guys, everybody but Virginia.
Ooh.
We need to talk about Clemson, too. The ACC.
Oh.
Speaking of which.
Because Billis
That was
was,
bad.
and shout out, go listen to
Yeah.
the Jay Billis episode, Sports Gambling Podcast. We had him on. It was a great episode. Jay's a great guy, funny guy, but he was saying Clemson deserved to be in the NCAA tournament.
Ooh.
I think we might have a little bit of a little difference here. I mean, they lost, right?
To Moorhead.
What's the final score there?
They
I've been
blew
doing
a
shows.
15-point lead.
Yeah, I've been doing. What happened?
They blew a 15-point lead.
To Moorhead State?
To Moorhead.
The OVC?
That's correct.
Yeah. Moorhead over less head in Clemson.
Have you tweeted that to Terrell Furman Jr. or
No.
NC Nick?
No, not yet.
Okay, because
They'll-
I want to watch this
They're
war.
still snorkeling on the first 4.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
yeah.
If he tweets that, it's stooping down to their level because they were bragging about a first 4 win.
Yeah.
If he brags about an NIT win, then his whole angle
fair.
goes away.
I will say
Fair.
that is a bad loss.
Yeah,
It's a bad
That is a
loss.
very bad loss.
You can't lose to Moorhead.
It stands for
it's-
not in
at
tournament.
Clemson too, brutal. That was not a neutral site game. All right, look. So this game, Pitt obviously takes down Mississippi State without their big man. Great win for the Pitt program. No matter what my friend says here, it's a great win for the program. Capel had never had a tournament win at Pitt. He gets it done. Now he heads to Greensboro, which, by the way, Jeff Capel from I believe from Southern Pines, North Carolina, if memory serves me correct, or somewhere around there. I remember reading something. I could be way off, but it's right around that area. All right. I feel like George W. here. He's from somewhere in North Carolina, right around here. All right. But Pitt has been a great story this year, man. Considering the Hughley situation, the Dior Johnson situation.
Yep.
And now they take on Iowa State. And I said this on last night's episode. Mississippi State kind of plays like Iowa State. Now, Iowa State's a better version of that.
Yeah.
Which scares me a little bit on this spread. It opened up at 3.5. It's at 4.5 now. Iowa State's laying 4.5. I'm still taking Iowa State. But I wonder, where's the threshold? Where do I turn? If it goes to 6, if it goes to 5.5, am I taking the Pitt Panthers? Maybe. I think Iowa State, I think this Iowa State team actually scores better than last year's Iowa State team.
They do.
And
Easily.
I think that's the difference here. I think people are thinking, oh, last year's Iowa State team just terrible offensively. They still had a deep run in March, and defense wins in March, and that's why I do think the Cyclones get it done. I know you're the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, hey,
Just give it to him.
oh yeah.
Well, here's your soapbox.
So I've seen the angle. Pitt, they played at Greensboro. They're familiar with the gym. Hey, newsflash, they lost by 30 to Duke. They can't be that familiar with those Reds. They got their ass beat embarrassed in that gym.
They won a game by just as many.
Yeah, they got helped out by the officials just to get them into the tournament. So that's beside the point. Welcome back to the Big 12. It's nice. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that they won the playing game because they get to
it gives them hope.
They get to come to a real league with real men, the Big 12. Give me the Cyclones. Lock it up. They win this by 20. Just like West Virginia.
I don't think that. See, I better not be getting tagged in that. I am not locking it, but Moneyline Mac is locking it.
I'm clipping it. He had a nice ISO there. They win by 20.
Clip it.
Noah,
I'm clipping.
Noah, we know you love the city, Pittsburgh,
I love
city.
the city.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. And I'm going with Pitt here. And I said on an Instant Reaction podcast that Pitt was the best chance to come out of the first four and win a game in the tournament. I still stand by that because exactly what I said. Mississippi State offense, they struggle quite a bit. And then against Iowa State, the Cyclones, they play that no-middle defense. Everything from Pitt runs on the outside. They like their ball screens. They're going to be able to shoot the ball well. And then you like the angle of when Arizona State, they ran out of the gates early. If they fall back to the median here in the next game against TCU, I think that argument should go in the way of Pitt because they didn't really shoot the lights out. They had a hot run in the start of the first half, but that second half was brutal offensively by both teams. I like that. I like Pitt to at least cover the 4, maybe even win against the Cyclones.
There we go. Okay, next up.
He's wrong, but
We'll
it's okay.
take to win.
It's okay.
To win, folks.
See, they're going to make shots like they did against West Virginia.
We're both going
November
bold on
11th.
both sides.
Yeah, I love it. This is great. I can't wait to just don't tag me in all this. I'm joking. I actually appreciate.
Colby wants to be tagged.
Yeah, I actually appreciate it because it's like I load up and say like the first thing I saw was someone saying, "Dude, you're a fucking idiot," and I'm just like, "Oh, this is why I like Twitter."
If anybody's going to be in the mud of us three, it's Colby on '90s college football arguments.
Oh yeah.
So
sometimes I argue like the 70s. All right, let's go. All right, it's always an argument you could do there. Next up. Oh, speaking of arguing, NC State's taking on Creighton at 1 p.m. on the West, 4 p.m. on the East. This game on TNT, and so we'll probably have Barkley and Shaq and Kenny Smith. This one's in Denver, Colorado, at the Ball Arena. First off, I blindly showed my wife all the teams. I didn't see the matchups. Just the thing with all the teams. And I said, which team do you like? And she knows nothing about college hoops. But she goes, oh, I like to place a bet, place it on the Creighton Blue Jays. She did not know that they were playing NC State.
Yeah.
So did she like it on the nickname? Is that what?
She loves Blue Jays.
Okay. So,
right?
So she's a nickname mascot person when she's filling out her bracket.
Yeah.
I like it. It was a great pick.
Hell, I told this story, I think, the other night, but my mom won our bracket back when George Mason made the Final Four just because of that. Strictly knew nothing about college hoops and just said, no, let's take George Mason here. Won the thing. But Creighton's laying 5.5 against NC State. I already have this. I have it in my pocket right now. I have the bet.
Ticket?
I have the ticket in my pocket right now. Lay the 5.5 against Creighton, and this is the epitome of a lock. First off, NC State, pretenders since they started their institution. We know that. But this is also in Colorado. Nebraska borders Colorado. Anyone that's driven this great country of ours, they've traveled. This is a home game for Creighton.
The mountains are blue.
Yeah, cold
Like Coors
activated,
Light,
baby.
yep.
I'm in the Rockies right now. You should give me some money.
Yeah.
All right, give us some money. We'll talk more about that product. I'm all over Creighton. What are you doing here, man?
Yeah, I'm on Creighton as well. I think it's fitting that we're going to be able to watch Iowa State and Creighton just absolutely annihilate Pitt and NC State
That was
on
made
St.
for
Patty's
you guys.
Day. What a beautiful
that
day.
Is perfect.
It's going
that
to be
is
a beautiful
absolutely
day.
perfect.
Yep.
These guys are going to be high-fiving on the
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be
clips
dancing.
all
I'm
day
definitely going to
long.
be dancing. Let's go. Let's go.
Eat shit or NC State. Wolfpack, whatever they are.
Yeah, just pretenders.
Yeah.
No, you want to dance with the Wolves or what?
It's the Blue Jays, and I think the key. I was talking to Ryan pre-show. I think the key to this game is Baylor Shireman. I don't know if NC State has a guy that can cover what Shireman's able to do. And you look at the picks page, everybody on Creighton. Love it.
NC State also
We're not the public bettors.
Yeah.
We're sharp. We have all of Creighton.
Yeah, NC State's middle of the pack defense. Creighton is a top. Well, I know
They
that the
fit
numbers
in your
will say they're.
KenPom thing.
they're-
The
yeah.
betting commandments.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to remember they also had a ton of injuries all year. So Creighton's going to fly high there. Iona, UConn, 1:30 p.m. Rick Pitino's back dancing. The world is all right again. This is in Albany, New York. Oh, Pitino's in Albany, New York, too? I get it. This is going to be a UConn crowd. But damn if this doesn't, it just, look, we already did this, talking about this on the SGP show. I laid the points with UConn. This is the game, one of the games I'm most scared of my play. Because UConn, from a talent perspective, should win by 30.
Yep.
Right? Rick Pitino's Rick Pitino for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
And Dan Hurley is Dan Hurley. And if we know Dan Hurley in March, that's not a good thing.
You had your guns up play last year with New Mexico State.
Oh, yeah.
I did
Right
take New
here.
Mexico
Yep.
State. They won on the money line, and I was on that. I'm terrified of this game. I'm taking UConn -9 because I think the talent's too much. But I am terrified of this game. Mac, make it make sense for me.
I think the number's perfect because I could see it being like a 5-6 point game. Iona's right in, and then UConn pulls away late. But I can't trust UConn. I can't trust UConn because I actually think it is going to be a primarily UConn crowd. But Iona's right there in upstate New York as well. So I think they are going to travel, knowing it could be it for Pitino. I mean, that they had a legend, a Hall of Famer that's going to go to Big East now.
Yeah.
One of
He's
those
out
Big
the
East,
door.
Yeah, he's out the door.
Lay it all out there.
Yeah. Balls to the wall effort. I'm going to take Iona with the points, but I'm not going to lock it just because UConn's so talented.
Remember a couple years ago when Pitino got in, he almost knocked off
Beat Alabama.
Almost knocked off Bama in the first round. Noah, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm on UConn as well with you, Colby, and it's just about the athletes and the pieces that they have. This is a team that's made to go to the Final Four, but has like a 15-year-old teenager driving it. You know, we can't trust him yet. We have to
Exactly.
see it happen. So it's like, I've got UConn. They should win and cover, but Iona and Pitino definitely can put up a fight here.
Next up, 3:50 p.m. on the West, 6:50 on the East. Fairleigh Dickinson. Wow. Okay. We were all on Texas Southern.
We were.
Turns out you look very good. Very good. It wasn't close ever, really. Fairleigh Dickinson's catching 23 against Matt Painter now.
Yeah.
Matt Painter has an unbelievable record in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And that is why I think you got to lay the 23 points, even though I know it's Purdue, and I know we should never feel good about betting Purdue. But Fairleigh Dickinson also struck. If I'm Fairleigh Dickinson, honestly, study the tape of St. Peter's last year. Because you have a problem with depth, or height as well, and depth. But I thought the way Shaheen Holloway coached that game is the only way you can play this if you're Fairleigh Dickinson. Full court press the whole game. Or, press the whole game. I think he dropped back to half court at times.
Yeah, and Fairleigh Dickinson's coach, Tobin Anderson,
Yeah.
he's an interesting character. Cameras caught him in the locker room talking about What did he say? What was the quote?
He said, the more I watch Purdue, the more I think we could beat them. It's on camera. It's already surfacing on the internet.
Yeah.
Lay it. Edie.
Yeah.
So
Lay it.
you want to
Yao
say
Ming, lay
bulletin
it.
board materials? There you go.
The Canadian Yao Ming.
Lay it.
Yeah.
They win by 30.
And, go ahead, man.
I said, everybody's got a game plan until you get punched right in the face. Mike
True.
Tyson.
True.
Yeah.
Everyone got the heart of lions, tigers, and bears.
There you go.
Classic Mike Tyson.
It's not a college basketball gambling show if somebody doesn't mention the height stats. So I'll do it for you. Purdue, 21st in average height on the roster. Fairleigh Dickinson, 363rd, which is there's 363 NCAA teams in college basketball.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So, system play there. Just lay it. This game, the line has gone up a tiny bit here. Providence, Kentucky, Greensboro, North Carolina. This will be a Kentucky crowd, obviously, because they travel anywhere. You could play this game in friggin' Japan. I feel like it would be Kentucky fans there. Providence is now catching 4.5 points. This was 3.5 the other day.
Yeah.
It's up to 4.5. Ed Cooley, John Calipari. There's speculation that Cooley's the next head coach at Georgetown.
It's wild.
Is that a distraction? Is that a distraction for the Friars?
Has it been a distraction with the way that they've kind of collapsed down the stretch? I think maybe, but you know what? I think still this Providence team, Ed Cooley, they're a proud program. If this is it, I don't think they're going to lay it down for their coach. You got a team that knows their identity versus a team that doesn't know their identity with Calipari. I'm just going to take Providence on the money line. It's like a system play.
I'm going to take it. I just hope the buy-in's there. It scares me that the crowd is going to be.
You have buy-in from at least one, and he's their best player. It's Bryce Hopkins. He's transferred from
Yeah,
Kentucky,
I love that
barely played
storyline.
with the Wildcats.
I love the storyline of the guards of the Friars. I think they have a clear advantage with Locke, Carter, and Bynum, where I think they can. That's been the flaw of this Kentucky team when we watch them. How many times have we said, like, their guard play has been inconsistent? And, that's been a big downfall. Toshibe also known to get in foul trouble.
Yep. Can't guard a ball screen.
Yeah, it's a lot of what ifs, in this game. But I think you got to take the points. I don't feel great. Obviously, Kentucky's talented enough to go deep into the NCAA tournament. But give me the points. Who's got the coaching edge here?
Oh, Cooley.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was just about to mention that, too. I stated yesterday on the podcast that there was 2 matchups that I immediately put a team in over the other based on coaching alone, and this was the other one. I think that Calipari is more of a recruiter. Cooley's more of a coacher. Cooley's able to get these kind of scrappy kids that, have some playing time, and he molds teams together over time throughout the season, and this is where they get better.
There we go. Noah Bieniek.
Could this be it for John Calipari at Kentucky? This would be the last game for both of them.
Certainly.
That's all cooled off.
Yeah.
Because we were on it from January and February. And then
because Rodney Terry started winning and coaching his ass off.
That's true.
He's one upset away from not getting that job, though.
Very true.
Crazy, man.
Very true.
Yep.
All right, let's move along. By the way, Noah Bieniek, look at that hat, that SGPN hat he's rocking there. Look at that. Get on over to the store. Go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com, and you can get one of those hats yourself. Hop on over there. Next up, Drake catching 2 against the Miami Hurricanes. Jimmy Larinaga, no stranger to just having great runs in March. And, I feel like he's like 90 years old. I often say it's like Weekend at Bernie's 3. That's the screenplay. Jimmy Larinaga down there in South Beach. But this is at the MVP Arena in Albany, New York. Miami's laying 2. Obviously, the big situation, let me just double-check this. It's still a game-time decision for Omier. That's a big storyline there. He's their best big, transfer from Arkansas State. Can he get it, if he plays, how healthy will he be?
Yep.
I'm on the Drake Bulldogs here. I personally think Drake's been undervalued all year.
Yep.
And I think Drake's going to put it on him.
Yeah, this might be one of my favorite plays. I think Miami's been the most overrated team in the country outside of Pitt so far this season. They're terrible defensively. I've loved Drake. We've loved Drake the whole season. They got the vets. They've been to the tournament before. They should have won they did win the play-in game against Wichita. They've been there, done that. I like them on the money line. I'm locking up the Bulldogs, and I think they're going to go to the Sweet 16. So let's kick it off right here.
I'll join you. Let's go.
You know what? Triple lock it.
Boom.
Oh, the dogs are barking. And I mean the Drake Bulldogs. get that dub. Missouri Valley never fails us. Ask Miami what happened last time they got a Missouri Valley team. I believe it was the Loyola Chicago Ramblers in the first round back when they were in the MVC. And it was a game winner. Classic. We were watching it. Not far from where we are recording right this second. Moving down the line here. Grand Canyon. Yes, Bryce Drew. He is no stranger to March Madness. Just the madness. Those game winners. Those crazy game winners. They're catching 16 against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. This game is in Denver, Colorado. Probably get a little bit of a neutral. Grand Canyon's got fans.
Are they going to be wearing Baylor jerseys tomorrow, though?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on here with the whole jersey situation?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, talk about this for a second.
Yeah, I mean, so basically their chartered flight from Phoenix, Arizona to where they're at. They're in Colorado.
But this game's Friday. This game is Friday.
Yeah, so the jerseys did not make it onto the plane. All of the team equipment was not there.
How does somebody mess this up? I don't understand how someone messes this up.
I don't understand. But they had band equipment, they had cheer equipment, but they didn't have the reason why you're going.
Absolutely hilarious.
Equipment. They didn't have the basketball jerseys. So from what I hear, Scott Drew's helping them out. I don't know how he's helping. Like, are they going to be wearing Baylor jerseys tomorrow, Matt?
Right at practice, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's ironic is Scott Drew and Mark Few are like best friends. So it's like he's got his brother versus his best friend. So you got a whole lot of connections going on right now out there in Denver in the Rockies.
There you go. There you go. It's a 16-point spread, guys. And as much as I want to take Grand Canyon, I can't get out of my mind a couple times that I've bet them. One of the times Seattle went into Grand Canyon, which is a great college basketball environment, folks. And they just laid it on them. And I think the Zags have been undervalued this whole year. Now, 16's a little large, though. Was this at 14 earlier? No? It was at 15, I think.
14 and a half, yeah.
Yeah, see, at 16, I think I actually start to lean Grand Canyon. I think Zags are probably going to win by 14, 15. Give me. I'm Benedicting this.
Yeah.
Because I caught it at 14 or 14 and a half on the SGP show. At 16, give me the Antelopes plus the points. Zags win, though, by double digits. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
What are you doing here, my friend?
And me and Stacking the Money Green, we were having a couple whiskeys, and, we need to find an upset that nobody's talking about.
You guys are blueprint. I love that.
We were scuba
it's like
diving.
war generals trying to find a way in.
And I'm
it's like if we take this route.
We scuba dived among this one, and we said, whoa, what's that?
If you're not watching on YouTube, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Colby's literally pointing out the bracket,
the
routes you're going to take.
That's what I'm saying. You do this thing, right? I do this, too. I go, well, see, if they're coming in from there, no one's seeing this
Piece
team
of coral
here.
coming in this way,
right? And there's a bridge there, and we're going to hit them with a surprise
you
there.
Just do some Colonials versus Redcoat stuff and hide in the trees and jump down and trap them in there, right on the bridge.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying. Surprise attack.
Forget what war that was.
And I think what Moneyline Mac is saying, surprise attack, he's taking the Antelopes. Is that true?
Sprinkle some on the money line.
Oh, you're a wild man.
Everybody's been talking up Gonzaga TCU.
Nobody's been talking about Gonzaga.
Oh, everybody.
They're flying under the radar.
They got that Drew Timmy, choke job Zags. They always lay eggs.
Hey, you know what? You better watch out because they might join the Big 12 soon.
Yeah, that's true. Literally,
they can finish sixth.
You could see a Gonzaga. You could see a Gonzaga Kansas Elite Eight, and they just come out and announce it right then and there that Gonzaga is joining the Big 12.
And the winner plays Houston, another Big 12 team.
There you go. There you go. Flex.
This team though, they have no expectations placed on them this year. Everybody's written them off, except for us who've covered college basketball scene basically the whole year, So early on in the season, they challenged themselves in the non-conference. They played all the best teams because they don't get that, I don't know what you want to call it, but the handshake from the NCAA saying that, your conference is average, but we the quad 1 wins and the quad 2 wins, they don't get any in conference play. The only one they get against is St. Mary's. They played Texas. They played Purdue. They played Baylor.
No
Those are their 3 losses.
No respect. Yes.
Yeah. So I like Gonzaga here. They historically have done pretty well in first round games. I don't have the number in front of me, but they cover a lot of these big spreads.
I loved it I didn't love it. I thought at 14 though they were going to cover, but at 16, where would you change your mind on that?
The number?
Yeah.
I would change it if they're laying 20 maybe, because earlier on in the season they're beating a lot of these mid-majors and non-conference by double digits easy.
All right, you convinced me. I'm back on the Zags.
Last time they weren't a
nonsense out of here.
Last time they weren't a 1 seed. They were a 4 seed. They barely got by Greensboro.
They don't even have jerseys, all right?
Yeah. It's
What? I
adversity.
don't even understand.
That's what makes you stronger.
This is played in Denver. It's not that crazy. Get someone driving this thing.
It's 11
for real.
hours. I just Google Maps it.
I mean, I've made this drive before.
Yeah, it's not hard.
If I could do it, come on.
Yeah, how is Baylor going to get shit there faster than Grand Canyon?
What's going on? What's going on, Grand Canyon? Don't you an online university too? I feel like you should be. You got hubs everywhere, right?
They're trying to figure out which Grand Canyon.
They should have. They have Gildan, the clothing company, right there in Arizona, right?
Yeah, that's hilarious. They email. They email they're like, oh shit, we don't have the uniforms. They email the actual Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
The national National Park Service, like what's going on here?
You got a P.O. box for that?
Grand Canyon at gmail.org or whatever. This,
Yeah, no, edu. Florida Atlantic, Memphis, guys. Memphis is laying 1.5. This game's awesome. We talk about both teams kind of getting disrespected with the seating. This is at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. I'm all over Memphis, man. I've made my case on the SGP show, but they are a super experienced team. The average age of the guys that get on the court at Memphis is 24 years old.
Yeah.
The average age of the guys at Florida Atlantic, who's super young, they only have one upperclassman in their 7-man rotation, by the way. So the Owls aren't going anywhere. Well, I don't know, the portal. But I think Memphis is going to fuck them up. I think Florida Atlantic's been such a great team all year. And I don't. I have nothing against the Owls, but I think Memphis is just right now they're playing great ball, and they're talk about flying under the radar. I think the Memphis Tigers have been flying under the radar for the past month.
They kind of ruined that by beating Houston in the conference championship.
They didn't
but
have
I was
Sasser,
right there
so I think a lot of people were saying, they didn't have Sasser.
True.
So give me Memphis all day. Lock it up. I already bet this one, folks, so get in. Get in. Yeah, I know what you're doing over there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Bring it on, buddy. Talk to me about this.
We've done too many shows together this week.
Yeah.
We know each other's bracket. Who? Oh, yeah. Let's have a lock battle. Let's go.
Please. I
cannot
wait.
This team is so underrated. They just took UAB behind the woodshed, another veteran team with all these Power 5 transfers. I like Dusty May here to get this done.
In one corner, Pick Dundee is riding with the Memphis Tigers. In the other corner, Moneyline Max saying, who? Oh, man.
It's going to be a fun game.
No, you're our tiebreaker. What are you doing?
I think both of you guys need to go get your sports gambling podcast, Sword Vitality, and battle this thing out.
Oh.
But, yeah, for me, this is a tough one. I think that Florida Atlantic was going to be pretty public, and it turns out that public's 50-50 split. A lot of the money is on what's it called?
Memphis.
Memphis here. I don't know why that slipped my mind. But, a lot of the money is on Memphis. Public split 50-50. I'm going Memphis. I think it was a terrible draw for FAU. They're experienced. They're athletic. For Memphis is experienced and athletic.
They got a shot maker, too. I think Kendrick Davis will be a big difference maker, too. I know they have, you could say the Jelly Walker thing.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of shows already, so I know he's going to say that, the UAB had Jelly Walker. Yeah, but UAB did not have this much experience.
And Memphis, if they win this one, it might not be the only one they win.
I agree.
I think the winner of this game beats Purdue. I really think that.
I'm against it on Florida Atlantic, but we'll get to it later.
You never been to Boca Raton.
That's the old folks' home.
Next up.
You looking at my picks over there?
Next up, 640.
I'm looking at everybody's picks. I got the whole SGPN picks page up. Brand play.
Next up, 6:40 p.m. on the West, 9:40 on the East. The Bobcats of Montana State taking on the Kansas State Wildcats. This game is in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's funny. I did ESPN Missoula earlier today. Missoula is where the University of Montana is. Their rivals are Montana State. So one of the first questions they wanted to know about, does Montana State have a chance? Remember, the Bobcats got destroyed by Texas Tech last year in the tournament.
Let me know. Is the Big Sky kind of like the SEC? Do they root for their whole conference? Or
No.
The
Brawl of the Wild. I think Montana fans want them to really, feel the wrath of Kansas State. But this is the Courtney Love game of the whole first round.
It is.
I'm taking Kansas State. I love Keontae Johnson, Sills, all those guys they got in the portal. But damn if this number's wrong. This number doesn't make sense.
And it's not just this number. It's Kansas State all the way down the board. All their futures are a little bit more juiced than I think it should be. It's really scaring me about this Wildcats team because it's a team that I've really loved and fallen in love with. And Jerome Tang, he's excellent, got a ton of energy on the sideline there. My guy, Keontae Johnson, who transferred out of Florida, he had the heart condition.
He is a
Florida,
beast.
the SEC wouldn't let him play, but he transfers out, goes to Kansas State. He's dominating. He's top 3 all team. And then Marquise Noel, one of the best point guards in the country.
He's incredible. And I'm looking at Montana State. They played Oregon in Eugene. They lost by 30. All right? Oregon's not a great team this year. They played Arizona. Now, granted, this is in Tucson. They lost by 21. Why the hell is this an 8-point spread?
Let's hear it, Big 12, Mac.
K-State doesn't really blow teams out. I think K-State, they've been so good in these close games, but they're also used to playing in these kind of games where they make their free throws late, they grind games out. I know it's 8.5. I'm going to lay it. I think that they make their free throws and put it away late and win by like 12 or 13. But I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I could see this being a one-possession game at the half, kind of like Baylor-Santa Barbara. But, the Big 12, they find a way to pull away late.
There we go. So on brand.
Yep.
I'm taking Kansas State, but this game reeks. I'm not locking this. What are you doing here, Noah?
Yeah, I'm on Montana State. I'm going the other way. The line's telling me something. The whole board is telling me something because, like I said, it's not just this game. It's all their futures, too.
Yeah, something's weird. 6:55 p.m. Kent State's taking on Indiana. If you've been following the podcast all year, I am absolutely sold on Kent State. I just did the SGP show, and I almost put them in the Final Four or the Elite Eight or something. I am locking up Kent State moneyline play against the Indiana Hoosiers. I know Indiana's got Trace Jackson Davis. I know he's arguably the best player in college basketball. But I think Kent State plays defense at too elite of a level, and I think their guard play of Jacobs and Carey going to be too much for the Hoosiers. And Mike Woodson hasn't really been a proven commodity in March. So I think Kent State gets them, wins the game outright. What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, this is a tough game. I think Indiana wins by one possession. So I'm going to take the points. I think this kind of reminds me of what was it, Arkansas, Vermont last year, where everybody kind of liked Vermont to win and pull the upset. Everybody likes Kent State to pull the upset because of their guard, Sincere Carey, the MAC. They've had a good year that they went into Houston, almost won, went into Gonzaga, almost won. But I like the Indiana Hoosiers just to find a way to win by one possession.
Well, coming into it, I kind of liked Indiana too, but they got matched up against one another, and I feel like Kent State's going to survive and advance, and I think watch out bracket.
Yep.
Noah, what are you doing?
Yeah, honestly, like Indiana's run by Trace Jackson Davis, but the most important player on that team is Jalen Hood-Schifino. When he's not scoring, they're not winning. So it'll be interesting to see what Sincere Carey and the Golden Flashes are able to do against Hood-Schifino. For me, I am going against the Big Ten here. I got Kent State plus 4.5. I grabbed it on the picks page, and I even have them moving on in my bracket.
Let's go. You locking it?
Not going to lock it because I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana wins this game. Trace Jackson Davis could just absolutely take over. I'm afraid of that, but I like Kent State here.
Don't be afraid of the Golden Flashes.
They just opened up the TCU line.
I got it.
You got it?
I got it. Arizona State, TCU, 7:05 p.m. on the West, 10:05 on the East. This game's going to be fantastic. TCU minus 4.5. You guys know I have a future on TCU that I got back in January. Arizona State, a team that we've been talking about on this pod that, I'd rather be playing Pitt personally because Arizona State's just a weird team. When they get hot, they're capable of beating, in my opinion, anyone in the bracket. However, I got TCU, and I'm locking it.
Oh, yeah.
TCU gets it done. Lay the 4.5. The Horned Frogs, okay, you got a guy quit the team. Sometimes that's better. Look what happened to Iowa State when Caleb Grill left. Look what happened.
Yep.
Sometimes less is more, all right? Are you locking this, Mac?
Yes, and I think everybody forgets, like when TCU steps out of the league, we saw last year with Seton Hall and Arizona, they're like, wow, this TCU team is so fast and athletic. I think TCU wins by 20.
Oh, there we
Fresher
go.
team.
Noah?
So originally before that first 4 game where Arizona put up 98 points in 40 minutes, I was saying to Mac, the winner of this game I think has a chance to beat TCU. TCU hasn't played a game in high altitude all year, so that could affect the Horned Frogs here. But we talk about blowing your load early.
Yeah.
Arizona State with 98 points. They come out a little bit cold here against TCU. I'll move TCU along, but 4 is kind of low. You said it was 4?
4.5.
4.5. That's kind of low. But yeah, I'll take TCU minus 4.5.
This feels like a public dog.
There you go. He's on the Horned Frogs. Shout out to the fans watching us right now. As we're here at the Wynn in Las Vegas at the Blue Wire Studios. These people are fantastic. All right, well, look, let's get over to the bracket because I am just going to destroy you guys when it comes to my bracket, and let's get into it. Let's start out with the South region. Okay, I know yesterday's episode I gave away our winners, but we have other rounds. We only did the first round. So in the South bracket, I have the Alabama Crimson Tide beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Then I have the West Virginia Mountaineers moving along, beating Maryland in a close one. Then San Diego State taking down Charleston. Actually, I go pretty chalk in the South. Virginia Furman, I think, is going to be a one-possession game. I think UVA gets out of it. I don't know. This is one that I swung back and forth on the SGP show. I think UVA gets out of that by 1 or 2. Creighton destroys NC State. Baylor gets past Santa Barbara. Here's my only upset in the first round in the South region is I have Utah State taking down Missouri, and then Arizona beats.
Technically, not even an upset by Vegas.
Yeah, not an upset by Vegas standards. Chalk Dundee over here. But here comes the second round for me. Well, actually, you guys rattle off your first rounds, then we'll go one by one.
So real quick, I think you take a different approach when filling out a bracket versus betting the games too. I think you take some more chances in your bracket because everybody listening's in a pool where you're probably in a pool with 50 to 100, even more people.
Yeah.
So you got to take some chances. If you're going chalk, you're not going to win. So that's my formula.
You trying to say in my South bracket's not going to win because I'm going chalk there?
No. Yeah.
Chalk
I'm
Dundee.
surprised that you went that much chalk. We don't usually go chalk.
Well,
but,
how about this? Fuck it. Furman's beating Virginia.
I like it.
Furman's beating Virginia.
Didn't you go on BetQL or something and take Virginia to win it all? What was that tweet that for surfaced? What were they plus 4,000 to win it or something?
Was this months ago?
Is it preseason?
What is it? I just saw it surface recently.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't take him to win it all recently.
Because they have Vanderplas out. So
yeah, I mean, this must have been back in November.
I was like,
they asked me who's playing good ball, and I was
hit.
like, yeah, I've done the BetQL show a few times.
Yeah,
I took Virginia to win against Duke, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, but it was something the odds were crazy. It was 4,000 or something because it was just Twitter feed throws anything up there, and if it was sponsored or promoted, it definitely got in there. But yeah, I saw that. And
Why are you bringing up old shit back from November, huh?
No,
I'm joking, buddy.
So
I'm joking, buddy.
Because I wouldn't even be against it if Virginia was plus 4,000. It seems.
So
high.
I'm taking Furman. So rattle off your picks again.
Yeah, so you got to take chances. So I'm taking Corpus Christi over Alabama. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Roll Tide, they get it done. My Mountaineers, Bob Huggins, are going to get it done over Maryland. Move on to the round of 32. I like the Aztecs. We all do to advance. I got the upset of Furman too. Fade the ACC. Furman's due. I like Creighton to get it done over NC State, Baylor and those guards to advance. I like Utah State over Missouri as well. And here is a shocker. I'm going with the Ivy League, private school pussies, over the Arizona Wildcats. Let's go Tigers.
Wow, that is an upset right there.
Yep.
So wait, we got Noah's called for Kennesaw State in the Sweet 16. We got Matt got Princeton taking down Arizona.
Yep.
Princeton did it to Georgetown a long, long time ago, back when they had Alonzo Mourning.
He's just doing this to wreck Jay Billis' bracket.
Yeah.
He's out to
he's going for all the ACC guys.
Oh, yeah. Coming for you, Bills.
Noah, what's your first round?
Yeah, so Max stated how he fills out his bracket. I like to pick a champ and then my final four, and then I go kind of middle out, and then I'll fill in a couple of upsets that I don't think the other team is going to go very far. So that's how I fill out my bracket in order to try to win some of these pools. I got Alabama over the 16, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, West Virginia over Maryland, San Diego State over Charleston, Virginia over Furman, Creighton over NC State, Baylor over UCSB, Utah State over Missouri, and Arizona over Princeton.
So chalk.
I am chalk 77. So the only one that I think that could be an upset here is UCSB over Baylor, actually.
Yeah,
I've said that.
All right, so second round here in the South, I have Bama beating West Virginia. I think it's a close game, though.
You're going to be wrong.
I got you guys
It's all
covered.
good.
I'm with you there, too.
Then I have San Diego State beating Furman. Then I have Creighton beating Baylor. Then I have Arizona beating Utah State, but that game's interesting to me. That game's super interesting to me. What do you guys have in the second round? Mac, fire.
Yeah, Alabama, welcome back to the Big 12. Bob Huggins, West Virginia, my Mountaineers.
Gets it
Upset
done.
the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I can
On
see
to
it.
the Sweet 16.
I can see it. I think that's a game.
That's a terrible matchup. I think the Mountaineers get it done. San Diego State over Furman. I like Baylor Bears, another Big 12 team, over Creighton, but that's a hell of a game.
That is.
If that's a round of 32 game, that winner could go to the Final Four. And then I got Utah State, Mountain West going to the Sweet 16.
Woo! There we go. Noah.
Over Princeton.
Noah, round 2. What are you doing there?
Alabama over West Virginia. Arizona State over Utah State, and I saved the other two.
Arizona State. No, Arizona. Yeah.
Arizona over Utah State. I saved the other two matchups for futures. I have San Diego State getting to the Sweet 16 at plus 135, and Creighton getting to the Sweet 16 at plus 125.
Oh, I love the Creighton. And actually, I like both. Okay, so then I have in the third round of the South region, I have Alabama taking on San Diego State. I think Bama's even going to survive this one. This one's going to be such a close game. I think Bama's going to survive. And then in the south side of the bracket, I have Creighton taking on Arizona. This game's awesome, but I have the Wildcats winning this one. Barely. Originally, my first bracket, I actually had Creighton in the national championship. And then I said, what am I doing? I know McDermott. Can't do that.
It's true.
Right? So, I mean, Tommy Lloyd's hasn't proved anything either, but maybe this is the year. Maybe Billis is on to something. Give me the Wildcats to take down Creighton. Mac, third round, what are you doing here?
The Mountaineers are going to win it all, but I'm not going to give that on the show. So I'm going to take the Aztecs to get to the Elite Eight. Good year. Hugs gets back to the Sweet 16, and I got Baylor going to the Elite Eight to match up with the Aztecs. Did you get your Final Four?
I can now. I have Arizona in the Final Four, so you give out yours.
I got Baylor edging out San Diego State because of their guards, but if that's a match, that's a hell of an Elite.
Yeah. What are you doing here, Noah?
For me, I'm taking I have Creighton over Arizona, so plus 340 to get to win the Elite Eight for Creighton, and then San Diego State, Alabama was a tough one. Like you mentioned,
I think that could be like a one-possession game.
I'm not a one-bracket guy. I was telling Mac, I entered like 8 pools. I entered like 8 pools.
So he's like, I got every team.
And I vary my plays because it's all percentages. If you don't want to lose all 8 because you have one bracket in there. You want to, So I have San Diego State beating Alabama in about half of them. So I have San Diego State plus 425 to make the Elite Eight. And then I have Alabama, Creighton in my number 1 bracket against each other. Creighton winning against Alabama. Creighton plus 850 to win the South.
Ooh, I like it. Ooh, I like it. And yeah, that South region. If so you gave away Creighton, I gave away Zona. Originally, I was on Creighton, but Zona's still plus 425 to come out of the South.
It's good.
I like it. Let's hop on over to the East region.
And Baylor's plus 550.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I should have highlighted that. Baylor's plus 550. So yeah, we're giving you a lot of solid plays here. In the East, Purdue taking on Fairleigh Dickinson. I have Purdue winning. I have Memphis beating Florida Atlantic. I have I have Duke beating Oral Roberts, 1-possession game. I have Tennessee beating Louisiana. I have Providence beating Kentucky. I have Kansas State beating Montana State. I have Michigan State beating USC. I have Marquette beating Vermont. Mac, what are you doing? Rattle off your first round.
Yeah, I'm going to take Zach Edey to get it done in round number 1. I'm on FAU in our lock battle to advance here. Bob Roberts over the Dukies, baby.
I think it's a 1-possession game.
Max A. Smith back on March Madness stage. He's the superstar once again tomorrow night. I'm going to actually take the Vols. They actually get it done in round number 1 with Rick Barnes. I'm on the Friars culture play here with Ed Cooley. I think his guys play for him. K-State, the Wildcats, get it done over the Bobcats of Montana State. Sparty, we already gave out that brunch parlay, so I got them advance over Southern Cal. And I got Marquette barely getting by Vermont. Barely.
Yeah. Noah, your first round there?
Purdue over Fairleigh Dickinson. Memphis over Florida Atlantic. Duke over Oral Roberts. Tennessee over Louisiana. Providence over Kentucky. Kansas State over Montana State. Michigan State over USC. And Marquette over Vermont.
All right, so then in the second round of the East region, I have Memphis and Penny Hardaway beating the Purdue Boilermakers. And I know Penny just signed an extension. Should have waited.
Retweet, though.
Yeah.
I have that, too.
Oh, yeah?
Retweet.
There we go. And what is Memphis to make the Sweet 16?
Memphis to make the Sweet 16. I didn't bet it, so I didn't write it down.
I have it here.
Plus 400.
Oh, get in on that right now, folks. Get in on that right now. Then after that, I have Duke beating Tennessee. I have Providence losing to Kansas State. And I have Michigan State beating Marquette. Izzo ball, baby, as he goes back to the Sweet 16. Mac, give me your second round there in the East.
Yeah, I'm on the other one. I got FAU picking off Purdue. More March heartbreak for the Boilermakers and Matt Painter. Oral Roberts goes back to the Sweet 16 second in 3 years. That sets up an FAU Oral Roberts Sweet 16 game at the Garden. I got K-State and those guards getting it done over Providence. And I got Sparty, Izzo, over Shaka to get to the Sweet 16.
Noah?
So I have the first matchup is Memphis-Purdue. Now, I said this earlier, Florida Atlantic, I don't think they have enough to beat Purdue. Memphis, however, they are lengthy, they're athletic, they're fast, they play defensive aggressively, and if they can catch Purdue in the backcourt, and I think really Maryland wrote the book on this, like if you can press those young guards, like hell, Braden Smith falls apart. And
yeah.
It's really tough to watch because I loved Purdue earlier on in the season, and as you start to see over and over these close games, and there's one formula to get to within a couple of possessions of Purdue, Memphis is talented enough to knock them off using that. So I have Memphis over Purdue. I didn't bet it because I'm not as confident in it. But then I have Duke, Tennessee. I have Duke over Tennessee. I have Kansas State over Providence, and I have Michigan State over Marquette, and I forgot to mention. So I have Duke plus 170 to make the Sweet 16, and Michigan State plus 270 to make the Sweet 16.
I love the Michigan State one, plus 270. Get over there right now.
We're all on it
to win bet and bet this. I have Michigan State taking on Kansas State in the bottom of that in the East, and I have Michigan State beating Kansas State. I then have Memphis beating Duke. The dream doesn't stop there. Penny's, he's doing it this year. So that sets up then Memphis taking on Michigan State, and sounds crazy. I got the Memphis Tigers in the Final Four.
We Tigers.
I got Memphis in the Final Four. I get it. They won their conference tournament. That means a lot of wins in a row. I just think it's the bracket that they're in. It's not that I came in this tournament thinking they were undervalued, but hey, plus 1,600 to win the East. Hop on over there, sprinkle a little bit on the Memphis Tigers. Mac, rattle off the rest of your bracket there in the East.
Yeah, and the mid-major game of the Sweet 16, I got Bob Roberts going over FAU here to get to the Elite Eight. They get it done. They almost got it done 2 years ago when they lost to Arkansas. K-State over Michigan State. Great guards in that matchup. If that happens, looking forward to watching that one. I got Jerome Tang in year number 1 getting to the Final Four. Kansas State Wildcats, get it done.
Folks.
Oh, yeah.
That is 2 Big 12 teams.
We have our counter going.
2 Big 12 teams in the Final Four. Is he doing shtick, or is this just him? Is this honest handicapping? We don't know. We will find out.
Well, we got 6 teams in the top 10. It's kind of chalky, to be honest.
Man.
Hey, real quick, if it was Oral Roberts in K-State, that would be 2 Scott Drew assistants, Paul Mills and Jerome Tang. And if Baylor's in the Final Four, you got Scott Drew guys everywhere.
Yeah, and his brother. Imagine his brother makes a run.
Yeah, beats Gonzaga.
Noah, rattle off that East region.
Yeah.
So Memphis, Duke. I have Duke over Memphis, and Kansas State, Michigan State. I have Michigan State over Kansas State. I didn't bet either of those teams to make the Elite Eight because I already have them Sweet 16. But I am sprinkling both of them to make the Final Four because I have them playing each other. Duke and Michigan State always seem like they're pitted against each other. Same region a lot of the time. And I think they're destined to face each other in the Elite Eight here. Give me Michigan State, Tom Izzo, good karma. That's coming from a Michigan fan, but I'm able to accept it.
We'll give you a pass.
I think they're primed for a run. I think they're primed for a run, but I have both to make the Final Four. Michigan State plus 1,200, Duke plus 650.
I got K-State 10-1 to make the Final Four. I like that.
Love it.
I
Marquise
told you,
Noel, baby.
all their prices are juiced
Dude,
up. So if
you
you
should
like
sprinkle
Kansas State,
a bunch of
sprinkle
stuff in
all
the
of it.
East. I mean, like
What's Bob Roberts?
We talked,
60 to
we
1.
talked about it. The East is
60 to 1.
We talked
60 to
about
1,
it. The
yeah.
East is statistically the worst region out of the 4.
There's just a lot of opportunity there, no matter who your team is. Let's switch over to the Midwest because we got to get out of here soon. I got Houston beating Northern Kentucky. I got Auburn beating Iowa. I have Drake beating Miami. Kent State beating Indiana. I have Iowa State beating Pitt, and I have Xavier knocking off Kennesaw. A&M beating Penn State. Texas beating Colgate. So I mean, pretty much a lot of chalk. But I have the upset of Auburn against Iowa, the upset of Drake against Miami, and the upset of Kent State over Indiana. So Midwest, that's my first round. What are you doing, Mac? Fire.
Definitely my most chalk region. I got the Cougars getting it done, even without Sester initially. I got the Iowa Hawkeyes to get it done against Auburn. I can't trust Bruce Pearl. Drake pulls the upset. I don't even think it's an upset, to be honest. I mean, the line's 2. Drake gets it done over Miami. Indiana barely survives Kent State. My Cyclones put it on. Pitt, each at Pitt. Xavier barely survives the Owls of Kennesaw State. And I got a former Big 12 matchup here, A&M and Texas meeting up in the round of 32.
I love that. I hope that happens because that would be absolutely fantastic. Noah, rattle off the rest of your region.
Talked about it before we started listing off the brackets. The way I fill it out is I go from the middle out. I had both Houston and Texas penciled in pretty quickly to meet each other in the Elite Eight here. So Max said this is his most chalk region. This is where I get chaotic in the first round. I had in the East, the bottom left, where I had a 5 or 7 in the Elite Eight. I have a 1 versus 2 in this region, but I have it blowing up. So I have Houston over Northern Kentucky. Auburn, because they're basically playing at home. It's Jungle East against Iowa. Drake over Miami. Kent State over Indiana. I have Iowa State over Pitt slightly. Kennesaw State over Xavier. Penn State over Texas A&M, and Texas over Colgate.
A lot of upsets from Noah Bieniek there. So Houston's odds obviously are gonna be the worst out of any of them. Out of the ones we've
They're
played.
actually third chalk favorite to win the national title.
To win the region, plus 160 still for the Houston Cougars.
A lot of the public
Texas plus 300.
Public favorite, Alabama. Second, Kansas to win it all.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now let's hop on over to the West region where I have the.
Are we filling it all out? Like talking the whole way?
What are you talking about?
Like, did you guys give out who you had going into the Final Four from the Midwest region?
Oh yeah. I've done so many shows, I forget.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
I have Houston beating Auburn. I'm glad you're here for this. Dude, you do so many shows. It's like, did I mention the Final Four or did I not? I have Houston beating Auburn. I have Kent State beating Drake in a great second round matchup. I then have actually Xavier beating Iowa State, and then I have A&M losing to Texas as I can't wait to watch that game. Hopefully that happens. Then I have okay, Mac, you're next. Rattle off.
I got Houston getting it done over Iowa. I struggle with this next one. I got Drake pulling another upset to get it done over the Hoosiers, fade the Big Ten again. Iowa State gets it done, grinds it out over Xavier. And Texas, the Longhorns, get it done in the former Big 12 matchup.
Former, yes. Then after that, I have...
For me, I have Houston over Auburn. I have Kennesaw State making the Sweet 16 over Iowa State. No bet on that, though. Texas over Penn State. The one bet I have on this region is Drake to make the Sweet 16, and that's plus 400. I have them over Kent State.
I like that.
But I like them to beat Indiana, too.
Can't wait to watch those games. Then I have, to round out this Midwest region, I have Houston beating Kent State in the rematch. I think that would be a close game. I then have Xavier dropping to Texas, setting up Texas and Houston, where I have the Houston Cougars winning. Fire away yours.
Yeah, no, I got Houston and Texas. Texas too much for Iowa State again. Houston too much for Drake. It's kind of the game, the Elite Eight that everybody wants to see, especially in Kansas City, where the Big 12 tournament's held.
Yeah.
You got the new Big 12 team versus the one going out. I'll take the new one, the Cougars, on to the Final Four where they'll play at home.
I'm with you. Noah?
I have Houston over Drake, Texas over Kennesaw State, Houston beating Texas as well.
We all are going with the Houston Cougars and Kelvin Sampson. Obviously, the Final Four is held in Houston. Something to note. Let's get to the West, where I have Kansas beating Howard. I have Arkansas beating Illinois. I have VCU upsetting St. Mary's, and I have UConn beating Iona. TCU beating Arizona State. Gonzaga beating Grand Canyon. Boise beating Northwestern. And UCLA getting past UNC Asheville. You guys go down.
Yeah, Rock Chalk over Howard to start. Arkansas, I'll take the Must Bus over Brad Underwood there. We all like the Rams there. Bad matchup for the Gales. UConn barely survives Rick Pitino scare. TCU puts it on Arizona State to advance. Stunner of this region in the West. Give me Grand Canyon over the Zags. Stuns everybody. Busts up some brackets. I like Boise State, Mountain West, big time over
Always
Northwestern.
loving that. He's laughing at
Let's
you.
go, baby.
That's
There we go.
There we go.
No
There
way.
we go.
No
Once
way
again,
that
folks,
happens.
Don't bet it right
YouTube.com.
now.
No way that happens.
You can watch this live, youtube.com/the college experience. Shout out to the fans out there. Who do you like to win it all?
You say UConn?
UConn?
He's from California, so he wants UConn and UCLA.
UConn?
No.
Just UCLA.
UCLA? Is that the play? No?
No, UConn.
UConn.
Yeah.
Okay. UConn Huskies, all right?
Yeah.
Everyone get over there. Place your bets on the UConn Huskies. Shout out to the great fans watching this one.
Yep.
Noah, what are you doing here?
Yeah, great fans in the hallway at 136 on YouTube Live. Kansas
subscribe and like, by the way.
There we go.
Subscribe to the podcast
Being a
and
lazy
like.
ass.
Yes, let's go.
Kansas over Howard, Arkansas over Illinois, VCU over St. Mary's, UConn over Iona, TCU over Arizona State, Gonzaga over Grand Canyon, Boise State over Northwestern, UCLA over UNC Asheville.
All right, so for me in the second round of this fine bracket here in the West, I have Kansas beating Arkansas. I have VCU losing to UConn. I'm going to be rooting for you, VCU, though. I have TCU beating Gonzaga. Oh, yeah. What's it? Hypnotoads, baby. Hypnotoads. I have UCLA barely escaping Boise. Watch out for that game. Mac, who do you have in the next round?
I got the Jayhawks, obviously. I actually like the Rams on a short turn. I don't trust UConn's guard play against VCU's pressure. I'll take the Rams to pull the stunner there in upstate New York. TCU over Grand Canyon for the seventh team in the Sweet 16 of the Big 12 for me, not including Houston. And here's a stunner. I like the Broncos of Boise State, more chaos, to upset the injury UCLA Bruins.
Yeah, the injured UCLA Bruins. Maybe you got to wonder, where's that limit? Noah?
Cocaine-less Bruins.
Yeah. What are you doing there?
Kansas over Arkansas, UConn over VCU, Gonzaga over TCU, and UCLA over Boise State.
That Gonzaga TCU second round matchup, unbelievable.
Go Greg Canyon.
Unbelievable. Third round for me. I'm going Kansas to take down UConn. Kansas gets the best of them. I have TCU beating UCLA. Let's go, Hypnotoads. Then I have TCU pulling the upset on Kansas. We saw them win at the Fog before. They get to the Final Four. Let's go, Horned Frogs. Mac, rattle off your West region.
Yeah, I love it. I got Kansas over VCU. Rematch of the 2010 Elite Eight game when Shaka and that crew got. So Kansas gets a revenge. TCU over Boise State, and what was it, Fiesta Bowl the 1 year?
Yeah.
So, we got a little rematch there. I got TCU, so I got an all Big 12 regional. So do you. And I got the Jayhawks somehow squeaking by the Horned Frogs again.
Oh, you're disgusting.
I know. I gave in. I'm a coward.
Noah, what are you doing?
Give me Kansas over UConn pretty easily. I like Bill Self, and this is where Dan Hurley falls. The other one, this is my talking topic about it. This region is being, the regional finals are being played in Las Vegas. UCLA played 2 games in Las Vegas in a little non-con, round robin if you want to call it, but they played Baylor and Illinois, and they got ran off the floor by both of them. The crowd was not there for UCLA. They did not travel at all.
They're used to
Gonzaga travels very well, especially when they're going to Las Vegas where the West Coast Conference tournament is played. Give me Gonzaga over UCLA. Gonzaga over Kansas. I filled out plenty of brackets to enter in all of my tournament pools. I have Gonzaga in the Final Four in all of them.
Wow.
So Gonzaga to make the Final Four is plus 360.
Wow, yeah, and TCU is plus 1,200. Let's go. Let's go.
I love it.
No Lampkin on Drew Timmy in the second round.
Kansas plus 350, even value.
I like Drew Timmy to
I'm not
get
worried
by him in the
about
second round.
Mark Few, Mark Shmew. Right? Come on.
Choke job.
He
yeah.
barely played any
One
games
seed.
without Lampkin.
Mike Miles is
struggle
going
to
to
see that
shred
happen.
them. He's going to shred them, all right?
Mike Miles might take advantage of some of the guard play, but they've
Gonzaga
gotten better
hasn't had
throughout
good
the
guard
year.
play since John Stockton.
They've gotten better
all
throughout
right?
the year.
Yeah, you want to come to the Big 12, Zags? You're going to learn today.
I've got him beating Kansas.
Final four projections. I have Houston beating TCU to go to the national championship, which is in Houston. I also have this isn't filled out. I just look at this to just to look
He
at
says
it.
it's all up in here.
It's all up there. That's what I'm saying. I just like to look at it.
So if anybody in the chat that actually wants to spend 2 hours and go through all of Colby's brackets that he's done, let us know if he changed any of them. You know?
Yeah, get over there. You know,
He goes,
see,
yeah.
see. Furman, Virginia was the only one. I have Arizona beating Memphis in the other side of the bracket. I have an Arizona-Houston national championship, and the Houston Cougars beat it. That's a little cat fest, right? Little Wildcats against the Cougars, but this is in Houston. It's a home game. I'm sure Clyde Drexler and Olajuwon will be there talking to Jim Nance. The Houston Cougars get the dub as they head into the Big 12 conference. Mac, fire away.
I love it. And, K-State, preseason number 10 in the Big 12 to the Final Four. Jerome Tang, the magical season. Keontae Johnson, everybody wrote him off. He never would play a basketball game again. He sweeps Scott Drew, beats him for a third time. K-State to the national championship.
My God. What's he drinking?
They get it over. They
Cut
get
him
it
off.
done over Baylor in Texas and in the other matchup.
Hold on.
Let's go.
I got to play this for you. So right now, I have the Arizona Wildcats in the Natty. You have the Kansas State Wildcats. I'm sorry. Now, who do you have them facing?
I went back and forth on this one. This is the hardest game for me to pick because this is going to happen. Houston, Kansas. Big 12, future championship. Houston's going to learn they're coming into the Big 12, and who's the king? Kansas. Kansas gets it done.
Oh, my
beats them in Houston somehow, some way.
Noah, gag him.
Tragic magic pays again. Bill Self back to the national championship.
Wow. Just those Jayhawks
Sets
fans.
up a Kansas and Kansas State
That
national
would be
championship.
what's that called again? The battle
Sunflower.
of the
Yeah,
Sunflower.
State.
Yeah. Unbelievable. You have Kansas winning, right?
I want to pick K-State, and it's disgusting.
What are you doing?
But I am going with the Jayhawks for the second straight year.
Chalk City.
Bill Self, back-to-back national champions.
They do it for him.
Rock, chalk, tragic
Oh my
magic.
gosh.
Disgusting.
Oh my gosh. Hold on here. Let me just queue up what do we got here to just get us out of here. How about this?
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Everybody's going to love Dick that night. Grady Dick.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Noah, what are you doing here?
I'm here. It's my job to come onto the podcast and just bust up the Big 12 party. Not one in the Final Four. Houston's not a Big 12 team yet.
Yet.
He's done.
Yeah.
So give me Creighton over Michigan State, Houston over Gonzaga. Houston Cougars win the whole damn thing this year, plus 650.
Against the Creighton Blue Jays. Wouldn't that be an exciting game? I'm on Houston, too, plus 650. Ride it, folks. All right, and that's our show, folks. We appreciate you. Don't forget that, we're back here the next 2 nights at the Wynn. If you're in Las Vegas, come to the Wynn. We will buy you a drink afterwards, all right? All right? That's pretty good deal there. Also, we will be at Circa tomorrow night on the Greg Peterson Show. Me, Moneyline Mac, tomorrow night, getting ready
Sean
for that
and
one.
Kramer are on it tonight, right?
Yeah, we're gonna head straight to Circa after this too. So hop on over there, or come over here. Either or. We appreciate you, and shout out to the fine people working here at the Blue Wire Studio that hooking us up, audio, lights, all that good stuff. Because if it was me, I'd be in the garage. We'd have a flashlight going, generator.
A garage isn't unfamiliar for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
SGP came all the way from the garage.
Started from the garage. Now I'm at the top.
Now we're in the fishbowl.
There you go. Folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. All right, on right now, on your podcast platform. Shout out to all the people on YouTube, youtube.com/thecollegeexperience. Subscribe there too. But what really gets us paid, the podcast platform. Spotify, iTunes. Get over there. Subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. Come on, 5 stars. We've been doing this show has came out every single night since November, 6th?
7th.
Yeah, but 6th we dropped an episode.
That's right.
Yeah. So since November 6th.
You guys were doing a bunch of preseason shows,
That's
too.
what I'm saying. It goes all the way back to September over the summer. We're doing Jerome Tang to Kansas State episodes. All right, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Also, check out the College Football Experience because after this basketball season, 5 days a week, your boy Pick Dundee here is going to be talking college football every single day. And also check out the College Baseball Experience. Noah Bieniek doing great work over there. And look, the college that season's already going, and you can bet on the East Carolina Pirates to win the national championship because it's going to come to fruition. And I'll spare you the song. But also, check out Moneyline Mac's work, host of the NFL Gambling Podcast, host of the Ryan and Rush Show. So check out those. Subscribe over there, all right? Get the SGPN app, and remember, we're at Westgate Thursday. If you're at Westgate, we're going to be watching the games. And then on Friday, we'll be at the Palazzo watching the games. So come by, watch the games with us, buy a drink, and, this is fantastic. And actually, let me make sure, before I get out of here, if you are in Southern California, I believe this day is going to be April 1st. All right, this is not an April Fool's joke. At the Ice House comedy venue in Pasadena, California, comedy club, we're going to have a Final Four watch party. I've done the Ice House before. Great place. And, if you're in Southern California, come by to our Final Four watch party. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be live recording, calling the game, essentially. So come on out. Me, Stacking the Money Green, Real Money Kramer, the Sports Gambling Podcast, and go check our Jay Billis episode, all right? Until next episode, which is tomorrow, this is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.